Hello everybody, this is Noureddine and I'm glad to be with you for a new English lesson. Today we're going to talk about conditionals, conditional type 0, 1, 2, and also wishes. We're going to read a dialogue, but before we read the dialogue, I'm going to explain a vocabulary item because I think this word is a key word in the dialogue. It's a key word to understand the dialogue. So the word is flip. Flip a coin or toss a coin. So to flip a coin is to throw a coin in the air to choose between two alternatives. And before you throw the coin into the air, you ask heads or tails. Okay? Do you understand? Now look at the pictures. Maybe you'll understand better. Here it is. That's flipping a coin. Okay? Good. Now, please read the following dialogue and underline the sentences starting with if. Just the sentences starting with if. Here's the dialogue. And it's between Liz and Joe. Okay? Let's read it. Let's go on picnic this weekend. How about a movie instead? All right, we'll flip for it. If it's heads, I win. If it's tails, you win. Sounds good. One more thing. If you win, I'll buy you a drink. But if I win, you'll buy me one. Okay, here goes. Oh, it's heads. I win. It must be your lucky day. But still, if I were you, I'd change my mind. Avatar is really worth seeing. So, this is the dialogue. Remember the question? Please underline the sentences starting with if. Okay, so, can you spot the first one? Good, that's the first one. If it's heads, I win. The second one? Yes, if it's tails, you win. Another one? Good, if you win, I'll buy you a drink. Another one? Yes, if I win, you'll buy me one. One more? Good, yes. At the bottom, if I were you, I'd change my mind, or I would change my mind. Okay? Good. Now, let's recapitulate, and recapitulate means repeat something quickly. So, we had these sentences in the text, in the dialogue. If it's heads, I win. If it's tails, you win. We also have, if you win, I'll buy you a drink. If I win, you'll buy me one. And the last one, if I were you, I'd change my mind. I'd or I would change my mind. Now please look at the structure of these sentences and the form of the conditionals. So look at the first two sentences. That's what we call conditional type 0. And the two second sentences, look at their structure. That's what we call conditional type 1. And the last one is what we call conditional type 2. Now let's look at the form of these conditionals in details now. And we start with conditional type 0. So the form of conditional type 0, as you see in this sentence, if it is tails, you win. We have, of course, if plus subject plus simple present. That's the if clause. And in the main clause, we have subject plus simple present. So if plus present plus present. That's conditional 0. Now, conditional type 1. As in this sentence, if you win, I'll buy you a drink. Look at its form. So we have if plus subject plus simple present, win, simple present. That's the if clause. And the main clause, we have subject plus future simple. I'll buy. That's simple future. Okay? Now conditional type 2. Look at the sentence. If I were you, I'd change my mind. So we have if plus subject plus simple past. Were, simple past. That's the if clause. Then the main clause, subject plus would plus the main verb. Would, I'd, the main verb, change. Okay? Alright, now let's move to the use. When do we use each of these conditionals? Now we use conditional type 0 to describe parameters, that is, the guidelines, for example, the guidelines of a game, the parameters of a game, and also to give instructions. For example, as we had in the dialogue, if it is tails, you win. So here we describe the parameters of the game. We also use conditional type 0 to talk about general truths. For example, if people don't eat, they get hungry. Everybody knows that, so it's a general truth. And we also use conditional type 0 to talk about scientific facts. For example, if you freeze water, it becomes solid. You can prove this in a lab. Okay? Right. Now, we use conditional type 1 to talk about possibilities in the present or in the future. For example, if I win, I will buy you a drink. So it's possible for me to win. Or I will stay at home if it rains. So it's possible to rain. Okay? As you can see here, when we start the sentence with if, we put a comma at the end of the if clause, and we can also change the order of the clauses. Now, conditional type 2. We use conditional type 2 to talk about unreal situations in the present or in the future. For example, if I were you, I'd change my mind. I am not you. So this is an unreal situation. Another example, I would speak better English if I lived in America. I don't live in America. So this is an unreal situation. Okay? Good. Now, let's do a few exercises. And let's start with this one. Please do this one. What does each sentence refer to in the following exercise? The first sentence is, if you heat water, it boils. Number 2, if that book weren't so expensive, I would buy it. Number 3, you'll pay higher insurance if you buy a bigger car. And look at the bottom of the screen, possibility, scientific fact, and real situations, and general truth. What does each sentence refer to? Look at the first sentence. If you heat water, it boils. What is it? Of course, it is a scientific fact because you can prove that in a lab. And number 2, if that book weren't so expensive, I would buy it. What is it? It's an unreal situation. Okay, because that book is expensive. And the third one, you'll pay higher insurance if you buy a bigger car. Good, that's a possibility. It's possible for you to buy a bigger car. Now the second set, sentence number 4, if I owned a car, I would drive to school. Number 5, you won't pass if you don't work hard. Number 6, people get fat if they eat junk food. And at the bottom you have the choices: general truth and real situation, possibility, and instructions. So number 4, what is it? Very good. And real situation. I don't own a car. Number 5, you won't pass if you don't work hard. That's of course a possibility. And number 6, people get fat if they eat junk food. That's a general truth. Everybody knows that. Good. Now let's move to the next exercise, and I want you to put the verbs between brackets in the correct form. Now, remember, of course, we're doing conditional type 0, 1, and 2. Here's the first sentence. If she eats hamburgers, she usually gets an allergy. Number 2, I don't know the principal's name. If I knew, I'd tell you. Number 3, that computer is expensive. I'd buy it if it be cheaper. Number 4, if I have time this afternoon, I call my friend. Number 5, Dad will buy a new car next month if he gets his raise. And the last one, number 6, I often get tired if I work too much. Okay? Now, let's do them one by one. Here's the first one. If she eats hamburgers, she usually gets an allergy. What is it? Very good, yes. If she eats hamburgers, she usually gets an allergy. Okay. Number 2. I don't know the principal's name. If I knew, I'd tell you. So, what is it? Very good. I don't know the principal's name. If I knew, I would tell you. So, I don't know. So, that's an unreal situation. So, I don't know. Number 3. That computer is expensive. I would buy it if it be cheaper. So, what is it? Good. That computer is expensive. I would buy it if it were cheaper. But the problem is that it is expensive. It's not cheap. Number 4, if I have time this afternoon, I call my friend. So, the correct one is, if I have time this afternoon, I will call my friend. So, it's possible for me to have time this afternoon. Number 5, Dad will buy a new car next month if he gets his raise. The answer is, Dad will buy a new car next month if he gets his raise. So it is possible for him to get his raise. It's something possible. Number 6, the last one in this exercise, I often get tired if I work too much. So, what's the answer? Excellent. I often get tired if I work too much. Okay? Whenever I work too much, I get tired. Good. Now, let's move to another exercise. Please complete the following sentences. I'm going to give you a set of sentences and then you complete them. Number 1, if I met Tom Cruise, what would you do? Number 2, I could tell you the time if what? Number 3, if my sister gets good grades, what will she do? It's possible for her to get good grades. Number 4, my father will drive me to school tomorrow if Number 5, if my husband has a cold, what will happen then? What usually happens when one of the couples gets a cold? Number 6, there will be more people killed if. Okay? Now, look at these sentences for a few seconds. Try to complete them using conditional type 0, 1, or 2. So, let's look at the first one. If I met Tom Cruise, what would you do if you met Tom Cruise? Yes, if I met Tom Cruise, I'd ask him for an autograph. Good. Number 2, I could tell you the time if I had a watch. Yes, I don't have a watch. If my sister gets good grades, what will she do? Maybe she will study medicine. Number 4, my father will drive me to school tomorrow if, for example, if I'm late. Number 5, if my husband has a cold, I usually catch it. Number 6, there will be more people killed if, for example, if we don't stop that war. Good. Now let's move to the wishes. Now, the use of the verb wish indicates that the speaker wants reality to be different, as in conditional type 2. The use of the past tense, and we'll focus today on the past tense, indicates that the situation is impossible or unlikely. For example, I wish I spoke Italian. I don't speak Italian. I wish I played good soccer. I don't play good soccer. Okay? So, now, what are your wishes? How would you express your desire to change the following situations? You don't speak good English. So, what can you say? Yes, you say, I wish I spoke better English. You don't have your own car. What's your wish? I wish I had my own car. You get up early every day, don't you? Your wish? I wish I didn't have to get up early every day. You are not confident enough. What can you say here? For example, you can say, I wish I were more confident. Number 5, your parents don't understand you. You can say, I wish my parents understood me more. Number 6, you are not satisfied with your life. What's your wish? I wish I could change my life. Number 7, you don't have enough skills. What can you say? I wish I had more skills. Number 8, you don't know much about computers. You say, I wish I knew enough about computers. Number 9, you don't play the guitar. So if you don't play the guitar, you can say, I wish I played the guitar. The last one, you live, for example, in a small house. And your wish is, I wish we lived in a bigger house. I wish I had more time, but I don't have more time. So I wish to see you soon. That's all for today. Goodbye. ماشي